Alright, so far we've covered using the pick and strumming and plucking single notes, and we've learned how to play some of the single notes here in the fifth position so that we can exercise each of the fingers individually so they get used to moving individually and making great sounds, and using the downstroke and the upstroke for each of the notes so we get comfortable there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put all of this together and learn how to play it in time. Now playing in time is often very difficult for most people. And the reason is because we have so many things to think about. We have to think about which finger we're using, where we're going to put it, where does the pick start, which direction does it go in first, what does it do after that, how we move to the others, and then changing the string. Changing the string, after we finish this first line, I play down and up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So I'm above the string. So to go to string 5, I have to go around string 6 and then get my pick in there and ready to play string 5, but I also have to go from one end of my hand here with the pinky to the other end here. And so usually a person has a little bit of trouble with that. Playing along one string isn't too bad, but changing strings can be a problem. So what we do is we use a metronome. Now this is one metronome. You can find metronomes online where it's just a web page of a metronome. You can get these. You can get the old kind that do this called a pendulum metronome. Those are actually often very expensive, and these are nice because they go in increments of 1. Not that we need it to be that small, but later when we start learning songs, we may have a song that's at 98 beats per minute, so we want to be able to play right there if we want to. So on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it at 60 beats per minute. Now the reason I do that is because we're often very much in tune with hearing things 60 beats per minute because it's once per second. And so, with that, what we're going to do is we're first going to back up a step or two and work on being able to play just the single note or the string by itself and play downstrokes and upstrokes and be able to play them on time like this. Okay? And so we'll spend a little time working on the 5th string and remembering that our downstroke puts us against string 4 and our upstroke will put us against string 6 so that we're moving in a straight line. Also, again, remember we're going to move from the elbow. Okay? Alright? So you would continue doing that through each string. And the best way to practice this is to do it for a length of time. Maybe set a timer for about a minute, okay? And work on playing one pluck per beat on one string for about a minute. So of course, it would take about 6 minutes to go through all of the strings. But I'm sure you'd be very comfortable with being able to play the downstrokes and upstrokes, resting on the other strings, and right on time if you spend a minute on each string. So, from there, what we're going to do is we're going to add the notes that we've learned in the previous lesson. So from here, we're going to start again on string 6, fret 5. I'm just going to play all the way through the exercise because this is the goal that you should have, is being able to play all the way through without any mistakes. Great sounding notes, proper directions, and right on time. Okay? Now the reason that I played that all the way through is so that you have something to practice with. So you can see this video as many times as you like, and back it up to that spot and play through it so that you're comfortable with it, but you're also hearing what you should sound like. It's often very difficult for a person to start using the metronome because it's just a clicking sound, and you're making a musical sound. And so to match those two, even though they both should have the same rhythm, is actually kind of difficult. So hearing me play with the metronome makes it easier because you can tune in with your ear to the sounds that I'm playing so that you know what sound you're supposed to be playing. In video, you can also see what picking direction you're supposed to be using and which finger you're supposed to be using. But you can also hear the metronome and how I'm interacting with it. And so that will help quite a bit. So good luck with that, and let's move on.